the one that's been making headlines today. So, Abby, you want to give us a little intro on what he did exactly?
The great thing with this gaffe is that this is a gaffe that could start World War III.
Love that.
So I'm not really sure if you can call it a gaffe after that. You know, it's kind of like maybe that's a bit more.
Some sort of a bigger word than a
yeah,
gaffe.
I don't know. I don't know what to call it. But so Biden said today that he is ready for the U.S. to militarily defend Taiwan should China try to take over Taiwan, which China is always trying to do and has been trying to do since the 70s. No, earlier than that, since the 50s. And that, of course, threw everyone into a tizzy because the U.S. has always kept a very ambiguous strategy between Taiwan and China, where we kind of play both sides. You know, we're trade partners with China. We don't really want to anger them, but we also give tons and tons of military equipment to Taiwan. Beijing wants to take over Taiwan because they don't like them being an independent island out there hanging off their coast. And so Biden very boldly said, you know, he's like, we're ready to fight with the Taiwanese. Like, we're ready to, like, a military response. It's not just like, oh, we'd aid them, you know, thoughts and prayers, wishes, and I'm going to change my, you know, Facebook profile picture. It was like, no, we're ready to respond with the military in Taiwan. And, of course, everyone flipped out. They're like, oh, great, now China's going to attack the U.S. and Taiwan, and now we're going to get in World War III, and it's going to be really bad because we already have World War III going on in Ukraine. And so the White House, his staffers then kind of walked back his statements and were like, you know, it's not having the best day. He didn't really mean that. We're just, you know, thoughts and prayers with Taiwan. And so it's just a mess. And everyone's freaking out because they're like, does Biden want to go to war or not? And the White House is like, no, he doesn't. And the rest of America's like, yes, he does. So it's a real mess. But it brings into question kind of all of the U.S.'s foreign policy right now, and where we stand with China, what we're doing with Ukraine, what our military is doing. Are we going to intervene in yet another war? It's great. So what are your thoughts on this, Grant?
Well, I think we've just seen time and time again that Joe Biden has no idea how to handle foreign policy. I think it's weird to me because we've seen the Biden administration kind of be hesitant in the past, and Democrats as a whole kind of be hesitant to swear off China, like you said, because obviously we rely on them for a lot. I think Republicans usually are more harsh on China. Donald Trump was very critical of China.
Oh, very, very.
Yeah. And Biden hasn't really done that. So I just thought it was kind of, I don't know, like a switch for him to say that not only are we going to support Taiwan, but we're going to send our military in there in order to fight China. It just seems like a far cry from what he has been saying.
Right. And, well, actually, people have been taking issue with what exactly he has been saying over Taiwan, because this is actually the third time that he said something pretty inflammatory about defending Taiwan, but then the White House, like, on official record is like, no, he didn't mean that. Ben Shapiro actually had a great tweet on this that he tweeted earlier this morning after Biden made his outrageous comments. He said, you know, to be clear, the problem isn't that Joe Biden says that the U.S. will intervene militarily if Taiwan is invaded. The problem is that it's totally unclear if that's true or if we even have the capacity to do so. And it's even more unclear when it's his own White House that keeps shushing him. So this is the third time that Biden's been like ready to lock and load, be like, yeah, we're taking Taiwan under us. And the White House is like, you can't say that. You're the president, but you can't say that. And it's just, I mean, it begs the question. It's like, does Biden even have control in the White House? Does anyone listen to him? What is he doing?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty clear that he's not calling the shots. I think anytime that you see a president say something and then his own administration have to walk back what he said and say, oh, he didn't mean that. Or, I mean, we've seen the transcripts. They have to go in there and change the transcripts because he said something that's just totally incorrect or false. So I think it's pretty clear to everyone, but each time this happens, it's even more clear that Biden isn't calling the shots in his administration. I don't know who is, really. I don't know if it's a team effort or what it is, but it's clear that it's not him who is truly in charge, at least to the point where anything he says goes. That's not the case, obviously.